We have proven, and I appreciate the recognition of this fact by Josep, that we can defeat Russia. We have proven it once again against all odds, against everyone who was saying that there is a stalemate, that you cannot win, that Russia will eventually succeed and therefore strategy has to be reconsidered. These arguments were defeated as aptly as the Russian forces in the Kursk region. Yes, these voices are silent now, but they will re-emerge, we understand, in the course of the autumn. And this is why we have to continue acting in an efficient way and make bold decisions happen. What these decisions are, first and foremost, of course, one of the outstanding issues on our agenda is the permission for Ukraine to strike legitimate, I emphasize legitimate military targets in the depths of Russia. And here we are mainly talking about airfields, which are used by Russia to launch their bombers, strategic bombers and tactical bombers, to attack Ukrainian forces and to attack Ukrainian citizen infrastructure. If we are supplied with sufficient amount of missiles, if we are allowed to strike, we will significantly decrease the capacity of Russia to inflict damage on our critical infrastructure, and we will improve the situation for our forces on the ground. So those who may try to blame Ukraine for not being successful enough should always remember that the success of Russia depends on one thing, on the preparedness of partners to make bold decisions. If decisions are taken, Ukraine is successful on the ground. If they're not taken, then do not complain on Ukraine, complain on yourself. And European Union is an important player, of course, and an important part of the coalition in support of Ukraine, of course, has a role to play in making this decision happen. Second, I will raise an issue with fellow ministers that bothers us a lot. It's a handicap between the announcement of military assistance and the actual delivery of the military assistance. Sometimes these gaps are excessively long. You cannot do military planning, you cannot calculate what you can count on and what you cannot count on the battlefield. These things, after 2.5 years of the war, should work as Swiss watch, without any delays, in the most efficient way. We have done our part of the work. We have significantly ramped up production of weapons and ammunition in Ukraine, and we appreciate the assistance that is coming. But we have now to step up another way of assistance, and Josep mentioned it, which is the investment in the Ukrainian industrial defense base. The cheapest and the most efficient way to help to provide Ukraine with ammunition and weapons is to invest in the production of these items in Ukraine. You do not have to waste time on logistics, you do not have pay excessive prices for this. This is a very resource efficient way. And we will be talking about that as well. Of course, air defense. Since April, when we made a plea for the delivery of more Patriot systems, good progress has been made and announcements were made. But again, some Patriot systems were announced and not delivered yet. And we are, as you are entering a school year, and we have to protect our cities, we have to protect our children. So I will urge all partners who have made their pledges to finally deliver these systems. Second, we will discuss other commitments and other deliveries that can be made, because Russia, and you've seen it on Monday, Russia will not stop its massive missile attacks against Ukraine. This is a very important part of our conversation. Finally, of course, we are foreign ministers, but member states are the stakeholders of the EU accession process. And I intend to appreciate the commitment of the European Commission on this track. I will inform member states of the progress recently made on this track. As you know, Ukraine ratified the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court, which is an important milestone and one of the one of the issues on the EU-Ukraine accession agenda. So we will also discuss how to move along this path without any details. War will end, peace will be restored. I think we will have a very long conversation today, and I apologize in advance for that, but this is the conversation that should set the tone for the rest of the year, and most importantly, lead to critical decisions. We have once again proven to everyone that we can win. We once again demonstrated that Russian red lines, so-called red lines, are hollow. We have once again demonstrated that those who speak about the fear of escalation mostly use this argument just not to make decisions that Ukraine needs. So we meet today in a completely different environment compared to the pre-summer season, and I hope that our meeting will be followed with strong messages, strong communication, and most importantly, strong decisions. Thank you.